Thank you so very much for being back, and if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. The Senate has expressed a strong dissatisfaction over what it described as the selective implementation of President Bola Tinubu's directive ordering the withdrawal of police orderlies from very important persons, VIPs. The lawmakers complained that while their own security aids had been withdrawn, many VIPs, including children of top political figures, business executives, ministers, and even entertainers, still moved around with full police protection. Senator Abdul Ningi, who raised the issue during the plenary, said his only police orderly was withdrawn at dawn, insisting that enforcement must be uniform if it is truly aimed at addressing insecurity. Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin informed the senators that the Senate leadership had already discussed the matter and was engaging the presidency to exempt lawmakers from the policy. He argued that providing minimal security for elected officials aligned with international best practices, expressing confidence that President Tinubu would reconsider their concerns. Meanwhile, President Tinubu has reinforced his directive ordering full compliance with the withdrawal of all police personnel attached to the VIPs nationwide. I still have with me Comrade Obong Thompson and Comrade Emeka Madunago, journalist, public affairs analyst. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for hanging on.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I would love us to go around this story from an area of politics playing, which we know our president is very good at. And he will do anything possible to ensure that people stay with him and drink coffee and have dinner with him. And one amongst those tactics is using the state power, the police being one of them, and other security agencies. Now, I do not know which party Jibrin belongs to. Is it the APC or which party now?
Is it Ningi?
Yes, Ningi. Is it with the APC? All right, so let's assume he is with the APC. But do you think all of this is gagged at getting the opposition to stay with the APC from the president, or what exactly is the agenda, knowing that selective appointment of aides is what we see and what they have explained, Emeka?
Well, I think it's unfortunate that has become excuse me, a national issue. So many policemen were attached to VIPs. Yes, we are not saying that they shouldn't have security. Well, see, charity should begin at home. Make the society safer. Then, if you want, you cannot go ahead and have, it's your money. You can have, security. But what I disagree with is that people who are not military personnel, you attach military men to them. To me, it's wrong. Or you attach DSS to them. You can't justify it. If you go to the Police Act, you will see where it says that a supernumerary police, spy, what we call spy police, can serve as an orderly to a minister, as high as a minister, and other levels. Now, the senators who are complaining, National Assembly members who are complaining, when they were amending the Police Act, when they amended the Police Act within a few hours, to accommodate President Tinubu's request to extend the tenure of the Inspector General of Police, they forgot that one day, they forgot that they had left out their own interests. And which is, wait a minute, we have not empowered the police. The police is poorly funded. The police are poorly funded. The police force, I mean, look at policemen, you see some wearing slippers and all that. They even say they pay to sew their uniforms. When I felt they should have used it to do a kind of a public hearing, a holistic public hearing, how do we transform the police? You know, in the past, you had the department for sewing in the police. You had the department that was making boots for police. Now, the only thing remaining is police band, that people call to come and play music at their parties. The chairman of the Police Trust Fund, I was on a live TV program where we interviewed him. And he promised that a lot of changes will be seen. But we've not seen them. You're talking of recruiting 50,000 policemen. Nigeria used to telling you that they are looking for jobs, but it's not the one where they will go and die for nothing. Yes, it's not police job, it's not army job. Give us in Central Bank, give us in FIRS, give us in NCC, give us lucrative jobs. When private companies, oil companies are recruiting, put us there. That's you carry your children to go and join the police or the army. You understand? So when you look at it holistically, it is because we have lost national values. If we made the country secure, let me tell you, why would a public figure need policemen, need sirens? Well, you don't need it. You will see musicians. Who is interested in musician? Who is interested in a musician? You see, even chairmen of all these unions and all that. I mean, why? You are the ones who deploy boys to the streets to collect nuisance, what we call nuisance taxes. When you make the streets unsafe, then you now have policemen around you. That's an irony. It's a sad irony. So, at the end of the day, government must do a holistic review of the entire situation. Use that supernumerary police, the spy police, raise their status. You can employ 100,000 of them instead of recruiting 50,000 at once. Since the police, you say every year you recruit 10,000, be recruiting your 10,000 to the police. But the spy police, you can recruit them for special escort duties. And you will use this opportunity to even get funding. Government will say, okay, fine. The spy police, we are only going to provide maybe half of their funding. Whoever is in charge of the spy police must find a way to provide their salaries and allowances. The remaining that government doesn't provide. If our government may say we are providing only 30%, but you must make sure their salaries are paid. We are talking of state police now. Is it states? Now, resident doctors have been on strike for more than 2 weeks now. You have not paid them. Are you going to allow state police to go on strike? There will be mayhem.
Very well said.
That's my case.
Hubong, what's your take on this, especially knowing that the country is on fire? Lots of things are going bad, and
we like to ask one question, and the question is, what's the essence of the president's directives? And just as we've earlier said, the essence is due to the insecurity prevalence in the land. That the president thought it's wise to limit the numbers, the size of Nigerian police force members that are allocated or assigned to all these politicians or VIPs or foreign expatriates or thereabout, because you see the Chinese, even going with more than 5 at a go. You see them being assigned to quarry sites or dredging sites and so many other non-conventional activities. Being engaged, the police are being engaged. Some are, you see them in the bank opening doors for customers in the banks. So sometimes I look at it, I said, are these the primary duties of the policeman? To mount the banking entrance, press the button, you enter, he salutes you. No. Whereas there's serious need or serious concern of the nation that need to be guided, that need the properties and the security of life is highly needed. We see in some countries the Nigerian police force all alone would have been able to manage the situation of the Boko Haram, the kidnapping, and the banditry. Not the army are supposed to come in when there is a full-blown war with maybe a foreign country or a very serious situation. But you see, the army are being involved in a civil situation that the police would have handled, and you find an army being overstretched and drained. And they were not trained for this, for all these cases that they are involving themselves into. So the Senate, through the Senator Ningi, raising an alarm that his only orderly has been withdrawn, I think that should be part of the sacrifice, that he also need to sacrifice for the Nigerian state. And that, as I said, should cut across all the political office holders, so that probably they will think reasonably that providing safe and making laws that will make Nigerians safe and their property, secure, will help to also secure them as well. Because by the time you allow the insecurity situation in the country to go haywire, there's bound to be, problem that will also either in one way or the other come back to haunt you. The poor masses you are allowed to go unfed. The school dropout children that you are allowed to go, in the public without having academic experiences. At the end of the day, they will come back to haunt you politicians, that build higher fences and so on, or haunt your children. So I think the matter should be addressed. Let the directive from the president be duly implemented so that everybody can sit up for once in this country and know that, okay, we must make sure we build our communities, we must educate our cronies, we must help, to fight the insecurity situation because we want to have a safe Nigeria. So there shouldn't be any need to complain. If the senators should complain, how about us? That move on the street. We have the security, and we are there working, making sure that day and night we are under the sun, we move around. They are being paid for. They confine themselves into a chamber.
Are still being paid.
And they are still being paid.
22 million.
So what do they need the security for? What is in their skeleton that they need this security for? I don't think they ever need any security except they are not discharging their duties properly.
Very well said. Emeka, let's get to prior to 2023 elections. I remember when President Bola Tinubu, who at no point allowed himself to be interrogated by journalists, but when he had the opportunity to speak to the ones he preferred, he would say that he would employ 50 million youths to secure Nigeria. And when he was asked what would they eat, he said they would eat corn, maize, and agbado and many other things. So is it fair to say that the president is clueless at this point on how to secure the country?
You see, sophistry is different from reality. A politician will mount the rostrum. I will give you roads. He has not even checked the cost of asphalting 1 kilometer of road. I will give you water. He has not even asked himself whether the people have food to eat. You understand? So that is why you see a lot of private individuals actually doing the job of government. Because politicians many times they say things without even sitting down to plan. When they now get into office, they see that no be as I think I'm 90 turn out to. They say that it's something else. It's something else. It's something entirely different. The issue of security, it requires the involvement of all stakeholders. But first of all, if you create economic conditions, socio-economic conditions that keep the people busy, there will be some deviance. But you can contain those ones. You can contain them. There will be some, who will say, will they take up one issue, that this, that, and the other, you are marginalizing us, and so we do. You can contain those ones. As long as the majority are gainfully employed. And by the way, Nigerians are not difficult to govern. No. Nigerians are not difficult. It is people in government who use the ordinary people to cause problems, to cause chaos. There was a community in Imo State where the government put solar lights. Within 1 or 2 days, the solar lights were removed. Why? Who did that? Did you make the people of those communities stakeholders? If you made them stakeholders, if by the way you employ some of them, engage some of them, to say, okay, you install these solar lights, and if anything happens, it will hold you responsible.
Yeah. Or you replace it.
Your community will contribute money to replace it. Nobody will, nothing. That is it. If you make people stakeholders, then you engage them. Look at, we are having issues with power supply, for instance. solar is becoming more popular. Renewable energy is becoming more popular. That's why I even think governors should actually be empowering people, apart from agriculture. Empower people, for instance, to design solar panels, because, you know, importation of all those solar panels and access has fallen, because more Nigerians are doing those things locally. So, with that, if solar products become cheaper, let me tell you, a sizable solar panel now is about 110,000. But if it's something like 50,000, somebody who is working maybe any minimum with 70,000, 100,000 can think, okay, maybe if I can get credit through government, I can maybe be saving, you know, maybe I can get some solar accessories of maybe 200,000 to power my house. And then I'll be paying small, you know, this PSS, pay small scheme. When you make the people stakeholders, it involves investing in them. Ask anybody who is working today and earning a salary. You will be receiving requests, even from people you don't know, for assistance. Why? Because the government has failed its primary objective in the Constitution, which says government shall exist for the safety and well-being of the people. That is why you have insecurity, because like a former IG of police said, you know, MD Abubakar, yes, I think Abubakar, he said that 70% of crime in Nigeria is caused by socio-economic factors. Deal with those factors, and you will find out that, you know, insecurity will be there. But it's not by recruiting more policemen. Because, by the way, do you know, previous government sent policemen to Belarus for training as special forces. They went to Pakistan, they went to different places for training. Foreign countries trained them in Nigeria. They came back and they were shared to VIPs as escorts. I was shocked. On a number of occasions, I saw the tag, anti-terrorism police. What's that terrorism police doing with guarding a businessman?
Oh, an artist.
You see the tag, special forces. And you see them, that is where we miss it. It's not that we have special forces. We have different people, but we now take them and they'll be opening gates, you know, for big men. They'll be carrying baskets with wives of big men to the market. Carrying baskets for the wives of big men. So we devalue our national institutions. We don't respect anything. The security we don't respect. People can defecate on the expressway. It doesn't concern them. People can damage public infrastructure. It doesn't concern them. Why are we so lawless? It is because that root of lawlessness. If we can deal with that root, you don't need all these senators and all that. They don't need police escorts. But because your people are suffering, look at the water they are drinking. Is that the kind of water your wife and children drink in your home? Don't you have a conscience? If you can operate with a conscience, a lot of crime will drop. Period.
Very well said. You know, we can't overstate, you know, some of these issues because they are real and germane, but it is the responsibility of the government, you know, to do something about it. Yes, Obon, you wanted to say some last words here.
Emeka has, you know, drafted in a corner which, you know, I happen to study in the university, and that has to do with security and defense doctrine.
Okay.
And the doctrine stated that not buying arms and ammunition and giving it to army or policemen to mount in various locations, that's not security itself in any way. President Tinubu, when he came in, would have first of all tried as much as possible to build public confidence. But the first step he took was the announcement of subsidy is withdrawn. It's just like declaring war against the people.
True.
And the people also take it as, they must fight back to survive.
Thank you.
So in a conscious society that you want to build security and defense system, at least, just like Emeka has said, you first of all look at the welfareism of the masses? How do you build and protect their welfare? Number one, paramount, so that they can be able to access education, medical care, feeding, and move around without being harassed. But you see the situation that you came into government with untold hardship into the people, and people now wants to, criminals have to hijack the opportunity and say, how do they survive? You see the high rate of kidnapping, banditry, and terrorism, with the whole excess of mobbing up funds from the government. And that is what has been going on in Nigeria for the past 3 years now. So there are some choice that has to be taken, but has to be made by consciously looking through those decisions and what will be the aftermath effect. Not about coming about to promise. We don't, in Nigeria are good people. We should not be talking about employing more of policemen. What are we employing them for? What are they? Instead of solving the root cause of the problem that you want to employ more police for, why not handle that concern first of all and build public trust, public confidence? Let the masses be confident in our government, in our leaders, and you see all form of criminality, banditry, terrorism will die down. Because if I have, just like Mr. Mika said, if I have a stake in Nigeria, why would I want someone to come from Niger or from my backyard to come and destroy the country or kill my fellow neighbors? I wouldn't want it. As it was obtained in olden Nigeria, communities always defend and watch the back of each other in every community. And you see the way that you can keep, if you are a trader, you can keep a particular produce on the street of your entrance of your house, and people will come and buy and drop penny. Later go back and pick your money. Because that was a safe society. Should you pick anything produce that is dropped there and walk away, someone will see and ask, where did you get that thing from? That should be the Nigeria that we should be talking about. But the political class have come in to make sure that they destabilize that structure by making sure for them to capture power. They must intentionally create an artificial problem or insecurity in the country. And the situation we are facing today is artificial insecurity created by greedy Nigerians that want to snatch power from the government of the day, and thereby putting all Nigerians in a risk situation. Many lives have been lost. Mosques have been destroyed. Children and all has been affected. I think it should be enough, and enough should be enough for our political class, playing this kind of politics.
Very well said. Public trust it is, because the reason why a country with a population of over 200 million would be comfortable to have a sizable amount of about 400,000, between 350 to 400,000 police personnel, is because they believe that the entirety of the nation would have public trust, would have the civility of not going against themselves, right? And that is the reason we have a sizable amount of police force taking care of the rest of us. But a situation where we want to turn the tide around, where we have more police force as against people, then it's a very big issue and never the solution. I think President Bola Tinubu should learn one or two on building public trust. Everything is really not about politics at this point, and we should have some reservation and some humanity to maybe put aside our selfish agenda and put Nigeria first, which is the most important thing. That's our take for today. Thank you so very much, Obong Thompson.
Thank you very much.
Truly do appreciate you. Emeka Madnago. Thank you as always. All right, that's about the time we have. I love to believe you enjoyed our show just like we did here. Please do well to visit us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com to read up on everything we've talked about. You can actually rewatch when you download and equally share to your friends and folks when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. My name is Henry Igwebike. Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I'll see you on another great episode. Bye-bye.